Hello friends. So today we will be discussing semester 4 of Mahatma Gandhi University B.Ed curriculum Edu 403.19 Professional Development of Social Science Teacher Module 1. And of Module 1 we will be discussing 1.2 Teacher Competencies, that is the Contextual, Conceptual, Curricular and Content, Transactional, Assessment, Management, Parental Contact and Cooperation, and Community Extension. So, what is teaching competency? We know that teaching competencies include the acquisition and demonstration of the composite skills required for student teaching, like introducing a lesson, fluency in questioning, probing questions, explaining pace of lesson, reinforcement, understanding child psychology, recognizing behaviors, classroom management, and giving assessment, etc. So, competency development must be a continuous process in the organization. So let's look into some of the definitions of teaching competency. Encyclopedia Dictionary of Education describes teaching competency as the state of having demonstrating skills, abilities, or aptitudes in the satisfactory execution of a learning task. That means the person should be very much competent or able in every way in demonstrating that skill that is needed for that particular job. So in terms of teaching, training, and education, they define teaching competency as suitable or sufficient skill, knowledge, and experience for teaching purpose properly satisfied. And according to B.K. Pasi and M.S. Lalita, teaching competency means an effective performance of all observable teacher behavior that brings about desired pupil outcomes. So, all kinds of behaviors that is expected from a teacher for an effective performance to bring out the learning outcomes in a pupil. All these are included in the teaching competency of a teacher. And competency development must be continuous process in the organization, as I said earlier. Let's look into some of the teaching competencies defined by NCTA, National Council for Teacher Education, and some of them are. First one is contextual competency of a teacher. Let's look into contextual competency of a teacher. That is the ability to understand various contexts such as historical background, present status of socio-economic, cultural, linguistic, and religious context of the family milieu and the community profile. That is one of the first and foremost obligations of a teacher, which is to ensure that whether the parents and the community are accepting the importance and usefulness of their efforts. For this, the teacher should have the ability to understand various contexts such as these. And they should be able to conduct surveys for finding out the reason for poor enrollment, the social issues faced by the students, poor performance, and causes of certain problems like wastage and stagnation, which hinder the process of education. So that is all about contextual competency of a teacher. Now moving on to the second kind of teaching competency, that is the conceptual competency of a teacher. Conceptual competency, that is the competency related to the concept, that is the clarity of thought, deep understanding of educational theories, and thorough knowledge of various educational trends, pedagogical needs, techniques, etc. The teacher should have competencies identified under these, like a clarity of thought, like he should be able to make clear decision, he should have clear understanding about the educational theories, and have deep knowledge about the subject matter he is dealing with. He should have significant he should know significant educational trends, pedagogical needs, should know the characteristics of child development at different stages to enable them to transact curriculum effectively. Also, they should have the knowledge of classroom organization and management too, which would help them in organizing curricular and co-curricular activities quite effectively in and out classroom. So, concepts and educational implications of globalization, modernization, liberalization, and privatization have to be understood by teachers. That is one of an example. So that is all about conceptual competency of a teacher. Moving on to the third one, curricular and content competency of a teacher. That is a full mastery of the content of the subject that they have to teach. This includes full mastery of the knowledge or the topic that is under consideration or the discipline that the teacher is dealing with. They should find out the hard sorts and gaps in the curriculum which require explanation and elaboration. Also, they should be able to identify such areas from the curriculum where there is enough scope for undertaking joyful activities, individual and group learning. So that is curricular and content competency of a teacher. Fourth one is transactional competencies of a teacher. That is the skill of day-to-day teaching to achieve educational objectives effectively through meaningful interaction between teachers and pupils and the environment by using different methods, activities, and technology in an integrated and effective manner. That is the skill to organize various activities or inculcates various activities or learning methodologies into the teaching like storytelling, singing, games, activity oriented approach, field visits, celebration of national, social and cultural events, to prepare appropriate teaching aids, teaching learning material to support and enhance the effectiveness of the teaching learning process, to use continuous evaluation methods, to diagnose weak students, and uh, im- apply new methods for the upliftment of these children, etc. All these are included in the transactional competencies of a teacher in a classroom. Now, the fifth one is assessment competency of a teacher. The ability of a teacher to continuously judge and verify the level of achievement of prescribed competencies and objectives laid down in the curriculum on the part of students is generally known as evaluation competencies. That is, the teachers should be able to analyze and record the likes and dislikes, habits, values, and attitudes of the students, maintain observation records like anecdotal records, etc. And they should be able to diagnose the problems that children face in comprehending what is taught or they should be able to undertake action research as such in the classroom. So those things are included in assessment competencies of a teacher. The sixth one is management competencies of a teacher. That is, it involves the skill of a teacher to achieve um, high quality educational objectives in minimum time, energy, and money through appropriate and effective use of educational aids and active participation of available human resources. Every teacher is a manager of a particular class or a group of students. So, teachers should have the skill of classroom management, including total teaching as well as subject teaching in the class. So, that is the management competency of a teacher. And the seventh one is competency of parental contact. Since the parents the teachers are dealing with both students and later they are dealing with the parents, um, they should have the competency to amicably deal with the parents as well. So it is the ability of a teacher to get the cooperation of parents and their involvement for achieving the objectives. Let it be learning outcomes, let it be community-based outcomes, whatever it is the ability of the teacher to get the cooperation from the parents in every way so that they can achieve these objectives. It implies the ability to discuss various problems that children with their parents face and suggest some workable solution. Teachers should have uh, teachers should have the ability to discuss the problems with the student parents and act as a medium between these two as a mediator and solve the problems that both of them face and ultimately find a solution and be a problem solver for both of them. So the eighth one is competency related with cooperation and community extension. That is to improve the standard of education in schools. Teachers need to seek cooperation and support of members of the community as well. So teacher must have the ability to work towards bringing school and the community as close as possible and interrelated. That is, teacher must be able to understand the role of community in the development of the school, and community at large can contribute at a very regular and effective at the regular and effective development of the school and the community and the student itself. So for the continuous growth of the community, or for the continuous growth of the student, it is very important that the teacher gains the cooperation and community participation in this education process. Thus, above the teachers should have a regular or methodical should the teacher should be methodically or um, systematically competent in maintaining community relationships. Now, competencies is to develop teaching learning material. That is, it includes ability to develop interesting teaching aids for making teaching learning process easy, interesting, and activity based. It also includes the ability to develop textual and self-learning material for children as per the age and nature. So, ability to adopt the teaching learning materials to meet the educational needs, especially of those children who have special needs, who come from disadvantaged age groups, etc. And also, this includes the knowledge as how to develop workbooks and activity books. It also includes the ability to use electronic gadgets, modern technologies like computers, ICT inculcated education to make teaching learning process more effective and interesting. And educational related competency is the last teaching competency, that is the ability to organize curricular and co-curricular activities for achieving educational objectives. Ability to organize social and cultural activities like morning assembly, days celebration, etc. So, the co-curricular activities are expected to promote cognitive development of children as well as non-cognitive development. So, these competency is also very much required for being a teacher. So, these are the 10 competencies of a teacher defined by NCTE. Contextual competency, conceptual competency, curricular and content competency, transactional competency, assessment competency, management competency, competency of parental conduct, competency of parental conduct, competency of related with cooperation and community extension, competencies to develop teaching learning material, educational activities related competency. So that's all about 1.2. Thank you and have a nice day.